Okay, guys, so here we are in a environment. It's a biome. Remember, a biome is an interaction between animals, plants, land, water, and atmosphere. And when we talk about plants, we're talking about what they call flora. Scientists call it flora. And then when we talk about animals, we're talking about fauna. So it's an interaction between the flora and the fauna. And we're here in what is called a riparian biome, a riparian environment, meaning that it's along a riverbed. This is the San Diego riverbed, and we are up here in this area where we have beautiful examples of some biodiversity. Okay, we have right here what we call a scrub oak. This is a scrub oak, and it's a plant native to Southern California. And if you look over this way, in this area, you have the California coastal live oak. And these trees were very important to the native people because they would have an acorn that would fall onto the ground, and the native cultures would harvest the acorns, and they would grind them up into kind of a flour or a meal that they would use after they processed it. And it's also important for a lot of the animals that live in this area too. So this is a riparian little by the river area that we're going to take a look at today. We're going to maybe take another 3 or 4 stops along the way and show you some really cool stuff. Okay, so another type of plant and contributing to the biodiversity of this area. This is called a Mexican elderberry, and you can recognize the plant by, if you look closely, you'll see the little scalloped edges here along, and it's a very small-leafed plant. A lot of these plants are small-leafed because they don't want to transpire or give up a lot of their water during the hot season. So they have kind of a thicker leaf, but smaller, so that they don't lose that valuable water during the hot season. All right, so another plant that is found in this area, contributing to the biodiversity. Bio meaning life, and diversity meaning lots of different types of life. So there's this white sage. This white sage right here is a plant that is used by native cultures, and they use it in what is called smudging, which is they would dry it and light it, and then the fragrance would be used in cleansing ceremonies. So this is white sage, and then directly right behind here is another plant that is kind of attributed to smoking, I guess, things that are on fire, is this tobacco plant right here. It's not really a plant, it's more like a tree, and it's not directly related to the tobacco plant that people use for smoking, but it's a plant that is actually found a lot here in this little forest. All right, and this is a plant that you will see a lot of in Southern California and throughout California. This is actually called sagebrush, and sagebrush is one of those chaparral plants that we talked about, and it's prevalent everywhere. You drive along any highway along the coast and inland, you'll see sagebrush. One thing that you'll notice that we're talking a lot about is the plants, and there's a good reason for that. There's flora and fauna in this area, but the reason we're talking about the plants is that plants don't run away, and they don't fly away, and they don't hide. They're right there. What we don't get a good chance to see are the fauna, the animals that live in this area. We'll catch an occasional bird. I just saw a red-tailed hawk that flew down the valley here, but you can see evidence of animals, and if you look down here, you'll see these holes, and there are several different burrowing animals that live in this area, and that would include gophers and voles and things like that. But there's also rats, mice, cottontail rabbits, raccoons, coyotes, skunks, bobcat, deer, and there have been reports from the rangers of golden eagles, a few golden eagles up in this valley. So there's a lot of animals that actually live here. We just can't see them because they're not around. So we're just looking for evidence of animals, and that's what those holes are for. Okay, so another plant that is real prevalent here in this what we call riparian biome is a toyon, and you can notice that the leaves have that really kind of short scalloped edge to them, but they also are elongated. Okay, but at this time of year they have these red berries, which is kind of nice around Christmas time. Kind of looks pretty.
That's why Hollywood has this name.
All right, guys, so this is another one of those 5 areas. This is a scrub oak biome, and a lot of the chaparral that we've been looking at in the other videos, but this one is a very good example of scrub oak, because what you don't see are those tall California live oaks in this area. You just see all of this chaparral area, and this is kind of what San Diego looks like. So here we are at William Hisey County Park up near Ramona and Julian, and part of the forest, the pinyon pine forest, is cedars, and it's a different type of tree. When you look at the leaves, they're much different than what you notice as pine trees, and this is kind of a smaller cedar, and if you look this way, you see how big they can get. Okay, so part of the pinyon pine forest is, once again, you'll see a mixture of all the different plants we've kind of talked about right now. We got this coastal live oak, if you look here, and then right over here, you'll see those cedars, just on the other side of where the sign is. And then if you look out this way, then you'll see in the background the pinyon pines, and again over here. Okay, so what we have here are some acorns from the coastal live oak, and they grow, and this little cap kind of falls off, and this is the acorn itself, and you crack that open and there's a seed inside. If you were to crack it open and just eat it like this, it would taste terrible. There's this chemical on the outside they call tannin that makes it inedible for us, but for animals it's fine. So what they would do, the native people, is they'd grind it up, and they'd soak it before they would grind it to get that tannin out, and then grind it into meal to make cakes and like a pancake type of thing. So these are the acorns from the coastal live oak. Well, hi there again. We're up in the pinyon forest, and if you look up on the hillside, you can see the sun coming off the snow right up there. Just had this little snowstorm in the last few days, and there's still remnants around in the park. But right over here is a manzanita, which is also part of the alpine pinyon forest. Let's go check it out. And this is a manzanita, and you can tell it's a manzanita by that kind of reddish copper bark, very smooth, and you look at the oval elongated leaves, and it's just about ready to start blooming here. You can see these little things, and I have these beautiful bracts of kind of pinkish shell flowers that come out here in the probably the next few weeks. Okay, so right here is a good little look at some woodpeckers in this oak tree. The oak tree has certain types of pest bugs that live underneath the bark, and in order to not only pulp the tree, but to keep the tree alive is these woodpeckers. And the woodpeckers will go and they'll get the animals that are trying to burrow into the tree, and it'll keep the tree healthy.